Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Mars4 and Barnsy. I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope you enjoyed my last video. I know it went on a little bit longer than what I wanted it to, but there was that much information in it, and I just wanted to get as much out as I could to you. I know I tend to go on a little bit at the start of each video, but it's just the way I am, unfortunately. I just try and explain as much as I possibly can and my thoughts about what we're looking at. But just as a quick reminder before we move on to the rest of the image, so this is going to be part 3, isn't it? We're going to analyse and explore the rest of the image, or a good proportion of the image anyway. So we'll just call this one part 3. But I just want to remind you about the structure that was at the end of part 2 there, my last video. I'm showing it now because I just want to make sure that people see this, because it was towards the end of the video. Not everybody watches to the end, so I'm going to just show it here very quickly before we move on again, because I'm just in two minds as to what this thing is. You know, I didn't get much feedback in the comment section, so I had no other people's ideas on what we're looking at here. You know, I did say I thought it looked like a vehicle or an aircraft of some sort, or but you know, highly eroded. I don't know. When I look at it, I'm just completely on two minds as to what it is. It's some kind of structure anyway, but I just think it's absolutely fascinating. But you can see in the shadows there, it's symmetrical, very highly eroded and destroyed, but very, very symmetrical. And I mentioned about the square area here, like as if someone had dropped a cube into this cavity here, and then we had the passageway, and then we had the remains of buildings around this area, and like a crisscross pattern, as if maybe this had been covered at one time and the roof's being blown away, and what we can see is support structures all along here. See this very fine crisscross pattern, and the cathedral like ruin here, but many times bigger than what we're used to. But it's still got the corner. See the corner there, still upright, and you can see the pillars there. See that? And there's one wall from the looks of it that's still standing there, and then the rest looks as if it's collapsed on itself. But I just thought I'd show them again, just in case on this wall here, coming out the 90-degree wall here. That's a join there on the image. There's like a structure inside. It's very difficult to see, but there's gates there. There's like some kind of entrance into here through this wall. Okay, but so let's carry on anyway with the rest of the image. So what I wanted to show you, and I think you should find this interesting, guys, but I'll just show you the general area that we're going to be exploring. Okay, so there's the image. Light tone lobe at the base of a valley in Cydonia Mensa. Okay, and what I wanted to show you is this area here. Okay, so we've explored along here this feature, and the last part I've just shown you there, this unusual structure and the valley in here. Okay, so we're just going to come back now. So we've done the lower part here, part 1. We've done the southern part, the upper part, part 2, and now we're going to go, not quite the center, but well, let's call it the center here. Okay, now when you look at it, it looks a little bit nondescript. There doesn't seem to be much detail in the image, and we can't really see a great deal. We know you can see that there's features there, but because it's so highly contrasted out, it's very difficult to make out what's there. But the first thing that I noticed when I looked at this area were these lines. Don't worry, I will make this a little bit more clear for you in a minute, but you can just about see the lines here. Okay, and what struck me was that they were very symmetrical. There was a lot of 90-degree angles in them. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll have a closer look at these, and also I could see a lot of triangular features, and if you look very carefully, you should be able to see what look like triangular features. But I've just gone off that a little bit as to them being triangular, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay, so what I've done is basically just the only thing I've altered on it, when I'm going to show you this in a minute, right, is the contrast and the brightness, to darken it, to get rid of some of this this brightness on it, which is stopping us from seeing what's really here. Okay, so if I just I've already done it, right. I've already done the image to save any messing about, which is what I normally do, but I just wanted to show you it originally. Okay, that's it, original, and this is it with the alteration of the lowering of the brightness and the raising of the contrast a little tiny bit. Okay, so I've reached this point, so I can show you some of these pathways and that a little tiny bit better. Now if I just put it into Adobe, okay, go to actual image, right, so like I say, I haven't physically altered it in any other way apart from the brightness and contrast. Now the first thing you can notice when looking at this is, we'll do this one first, right? So this, call it what you want, call it a pathway. Is it a pathway? Is it a road? Is it a railway? Is it are these motorways or something? I don't know. I tend to think they're more pathways than anything else. Okay, but it's very hard to say, because the quality of the picture isn't the greatest. But say take this for example. If you follow the cursor along, okay, so it comes along here, then it dips a little bit there, but you can still see that it's going in a straight line, and then it gets to this point here, and then it shoots off at a 90-degree angle. Can you see that? So it comes down here, does a right, comes along to here, and then comes up this way. You see that? And stops here at this hub. Okay, and if you just come up a little tiny bit, we've got the same thing. So this road, pathway, whatever you want to call it, comes down. There's like a supporting L-shaped structure there. Okay, so it comes along. Now I don't know whether that's going into the mountain, into the valley, or it carries on a little bit after it. I'm not too sure. Okay, but anyway, it comes down 90-degree angle, shoots off to the right, and comes along here to this hub. Okay, and I'm calling the hubs for a reason, and I'll explain that in a minute. This seems to be, is it a wall? Is it some kind of like an aqueduct, or some kind of like bridge as well? Because I'm sure I can see, like, there's a gap, then I can see like support structures, gap, support structures, gap, and then support structures here. Okay, but it goes into the hub then, what I call a hub. Okay, sorry, goes into the hub here, and there's like one or two little structures inside it. So straight away we've got these very interesting pathways, okay, and 90-degree angles. Now if you just come back down, and if you have a look at this carefully, you can see that it's triangular. Can you see that? Just go back out. Can you see that? It's got a triangular shape to it. And not only is the overall shape triangular, but the corners are triangular as well. Can you see that's a triangle? There's a triangle in the center, and there's a triangle shape at the end. Can you see that? And then there's a little hub, circular, flat surface with a central structure in the middle. And then there's something here. Well, can you see it? So it's triangular, and then there's triangles within this triangle, okay, and then we have a 90-degree angle there, and I think this is a wall, okay, so it's like some kind of massive outer wall, and this is where people maybe walked or moved around inside, but you could walk along the top here, and like I say, is the wall, and at the bottom is another pathway. See that? At the bottom is a pathway that goes into, like, there's these little dark areas are like entrances that go into the rock. So that maybe goes in, and then we can't see it obviously because it's inside, but then it comes up here this way. You see that? There. Okay, I know they're subtle, guys, but try and stick with me. I mean, this is just what I can see on this image. So anyway, if you follow the road up, and then we come to this hub. Now what I want you to do is look very carefully at this here, because I think it's some kind of giant structure here. See this? Some kind of massive structure, and both these pathways lead to this here. So that comes along and that comes here. So this is like is it some kind of junction? Is it like a hangar of some sort? Because if you have a look in the center there, you can see like a dark oval shape, and it does half remind me of something like the entrance to an aircraft hangar or something like that. Can you see that? Or to a railway station. Can you see it's like a half moon shape and a shadow in it? So that is a great big massive opening here. Yeah, can you see that? I hope so, guys. And in front of it is something here, but it's very difficult to make out. But it goes up and then into the circular dark cavity, and then and then on the top is like 1, 2, 3, look like bulbous structures on the top, and then there's something else on it. See there? Something that is laying right on top of the structure, and it's curved right the way along the length of it. It's curved, and again there seems to be a structure here. I don't know whether it's a supporting pillar. I'm not too sure, but it comes up here, and then there's like a square area there. There's a gap, and then there's another square. So these must be structures all around it. Okay, well, can you see that? The entranceway. Well, it's absolutely huge, okay. I'm not gonna really estimate sizes here because it's very difficult, you know what I mean. I could, but the huge because it'd only be guesswork. I don't want to be coming out with different sizes and figures and that, but it's many dozens of feet in length, okay. But that's a structure, in my humble opinion. It's not a mountain, it's not rock, it's not a mound. It's very artificial in my humble opinion here. Now if we come along here, okay, we come to this eroded area, and it is very highly eroded, but this pathway, right, does continue here, but you've got to look at it very carefully. It does continue this way, guys. You can just see like there's a gap there, but you can just see where this pathway continues, because if you look away you can just about see it there. Can you see it? So this is like a central hub, and we have pathways or roads leading to this central hub area here, most probably from all different parts of the region. Okay, and these came here. Okay, and they came here for, well, I'll show you what I think they come here for. Okay, but you can just about see the pathway or the road, whatever it is, and then it does actually come up here. Okay, can you see that? It's like a 90-degree angle there. It's like a pillar of some sort. So it seemed to form like walls. Okay, and when you have walls, right, they're usually built, aren't they, to either enclose something or protect something. Now, as I looked at this in more detail, right, I noticed this area here, the space, if you like. And you're going to have to sort of look at it, look away and look back, because I think there's a humanoid face there. Okay, and you can see one eye here, you can see another there, you can see a nose, and the mouth is dead weird. It's circular. Okay, the mouth is circular, and it's got another circular area inside that seems to be attached to it with spokes and a darker point. And this is all caved in and all eroded. All this is all around here. Okay, but this part of the mouth is eroded. It's like a tunnel or some kind of entrance or something like that, but it's circular. And this is all caved in and collapsed, but you can just see curved. Are the curved structural supports here? See the way it goes round, and then the central point on it. But that is the mouth. There's the eyes. There's the nose. Okay, and then this is the rest of it. And here, just it's as if it's peeking over the shoulder of this face. Can you see that? You see the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, and this part's being made to appear as if it's a hair. And you know what, guys? I know it's hard to see. It's most probably made out of structures, but it looks like a woman's face who's smiling, and it reminds me. I've actually just let me see if I got it. It reminds me of this. Remember the real mission of the Curiosity rover video that I did, and I found the image of a woman's face here, and you can see her eyes, her nose, you can see her mouth open, you can see her teeth in her mouth, and this part of the rock has been made to look like hair. See, and she's sitting behind some kind of vehicle. It's all made out of rock, and it's all sand and soil and rock, but it's made in such a way that we've got the smiling lady, and she's sitting behind us the screen of some kind of vehicle. That was what I hypothesized we were looking at. But if you just look at that face, right, and if you just, I'll just have to open this again. I've lost that now. And if you look very carefully, we've got the same, virtually, I'm talking virtually the exact same features, with the eyes, the nose, and she's smiling. I can tell you with the hair. Okay, and it seems as if it's peeking over this greater face here. And if we just follow the cursor up to here, there seems to be structures. See these white areas? These are structures here. Okay, and there's another pathway that comes down. You see that? There's a hub with a open area with a centre dark point. So comes down, goes past this hub, carries on here, and say so we stop here for a minute, okay, and here is a row of structures. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then on the left hand side of this row of structures is something that looks like a giant grain silo or something like that. I know it's very difficult to see, isn't it, guys? I appreciate that, but this is the best I can do, you know what I mean? But I think these are structures all in a row, and they remind me of something like a giant bus depot or something like that, some kind of massive depot of some sort where maybe vehicles were kept or something. I mean, it's only a guess, I'm only throwing it out there, but you can see like these structures, and the pathway comes past the hub, comes down, stops here next to these structures and a giant silo type thing, whatever it is. Now we do lose it a bit amongst all these structures and everything, but we can pick the trail up again. Can you see it? I hope you can see it, guys. So it comes down, sweeps round here, okay, and then stops about here. Can you see that? So there's the pathway, comes down, stops there, and the reason why I think it stops there is because there's a gap here, like a little passageway that runs along here. Now that passageway runs straight in to the mouth, the round circular mouth of this humanoid figure that's being carved into the ground or on the side of the valley. Okay, so it's no coincidence, is it, that this pathway stops round about here. Just so happens that it's opposite this cut in the valley here. Again, I think this was very important for the people who lived in this region. This was it something that they worshipped? Was it a focal point for the religion? I don't know. Again, it's just hypothesis. And there's a gap here, and when I look at this sometimes I get the impression of something like a sphinx like structure, and there's like platforms here, and these were maybe the pores here, the gap, and here, but you've got to look at it as a whole. So was that like a dominant, was this a dominant feature in this entire area? I don't know, and that's why these structures were built to accommodate people coming in down these roads or pathways, because all roads seem to lead, can you see, all these roads seem to lead to this. Or was this could you go into that structure? Was this a tunnel that went in underground? Now remember I said earlier on about I could see like triangular features here, but what I think's happened is I think all this has collapsed inwards. Okay, all this has collapsed inwards, and what we can see here and here are, say this was a roof and it collapsed inwards. Okay, these are the 90-degree angles, the points. Maybe are they the 90-degree angles sticking up? Was this a roof at one time here and it's collapsed down? Because it certainly looks like to me as if this was a flat surface here, but it's collapsed inwards through maybe the weight of the ice, the weight of the sand, the rocks, I don't know. And these corners maybe are the walls. See these? You can just about see them here, but they're the walls sticking up, so they look like triangles. See, they look like triangles, but they're actually where the roof is collapsed downwards. Okay, but as you can see, it's all collapsed, isn't it? It's all highly eroded and destroyed. And this looks like a platform as well, that's being carved out here of the rock. So this was obviously a highly important place at one time. We seem to have structures here sticking out of this cavity. So, you know, and if you look carefully, you can see like rebar and crisscross patterns, as if all this was covered in some kind of like this white material, but it's been blown off, so we can see a little tiny bit what maybe was underneath it, or or is this the surface but just absolutely destroyed and eroded over a long time. See the structure, see them structures there, okay, just let me come out of that. um, okay, okay guys, you know what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave this here. It's an amazing image, right? It's got tons and tons of anomalous structures in it, like sculptures and carvings, and it's got multiple more of these pathways. But again, I don't want to, you know, take up too much of your time, because I know a lot of people find it difficult looking at, you know, looking at the long videos. But I hope I've placed enough in this image for it to at least get you thinking a little tiny bit, because you've got to think outside the box when you're looking at these features. I could literally show you other parts of the image, and we could talk for another 2 hours on it, honestly, because there's that much in it. But I'm trying to show you the more obvious areas, which I do not think are natural at all. I think they're artificial. I think, you know, this was an important area, an important hub, if you like, for the people that lived here. And I think in many respects that they were very similar to us, you know, because we've worshipped effigies, and we've built massive structures to the gods, to our religions, to our lords. They're the biggest structures usually that we build, like the cathedrals, the pyramids, all to our you know, to our gods and that. And I don't think these were any different, to be honest with you. Okay then guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you can see what I can see in it. So wait for the next one guys, I've got like quite an interesting little one for you next time. So all the best, and see you soon. Bye bye.